Welcome to the From the Vine podcast, where we share stories, spark conversations, and celebrate the people who make up our Vineyard Church community. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are bringing you, I don't even know what episode it is at this point. I lost track. I used to number them, but now I'm just putting it by all of the interviewees because I didn't want to just be like, oh, number 5, number 6, and then counting's hard. Anyways, whatever episode this is, it'll be in the title. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It has been incredible just to hear stories and testimonies and just everything that God is doing in our community and in the lives of people in our community. And today we have another amazing guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, share some fun facts. What's your name, man?
What's up, everyone? My name's James Warwick. That seems so proper. James Warwick.
Dude, it's a sick name.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, my name's James. I'm originally from Chicagoland area. Okay, so not Chicago, Illinois. Grew up kind of like
Chicago.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Chicago?
Never been to Chicago.
Yeah.
I watched the Chicago TV shows.
Oh.
Like Chicago PD, Chicago Med, all that. Yeah,
okay.
Never been. So.
Yeah, it's a cool city.
Yeah.
It's cool. But I grew up like more cornfields, soybeans type stuff.
Yeah.
Grew up out there and moved out here to LA when I was 18 years old, right after high school, and been out here ever since, and live locally right across the street from the Vineyard.
Yes, you do.
That's
why you're never late, always on time.
Always on time. I do like a little, what's that one game where you got like chicken, where it's like, you press it and the chicken like has to cross the road when the cars come.
Oh,
you know what I'm
Crossy Road?
Yeah, Crossy Road. That's like me every Sunday morning, with the traffic. I just have to cross Centinela right there.
Yeah, I know, 'cause that's a busy show. I remember you saw me one time when I was coming to your place and I went down and used the crosswalk. And
yeah, that was so funny. I saw Jacob and Kaylee, not a fight, a slight little argument on who
we were
was,
like,
if to cross or not to cross. And Jacob, obviously the more conservative and safety and
be safe, man.
And wanting to care about the
street's
well-being,
dangerous.
obviously, of yourself and your wife. Took the crosswalk, which is very fair. So
Yep. And Kaylee she just wanted to get there.
No.
Do you jaywalk?
I guess that's technically
That
jaywalking in a
technically is
way, but like
jaywalking.
diagonally, is that what you're talking about?
Or just anywhere? Like, are you just do you look for a crosswalk or do you just go to cross wherever?
Man,
just whenever.
I guess just whenever I can,
Yeah.
as long as I don't get hit.
It depends on, it's funny that you brought up with Kaylee because with Kaylee, I'm like that. But then when I'm not, like when I got to go to the grocery store, there's a Ralph's right across the street and it's national. So it gets pretty busy. Yeah. And I'll just go.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter. But it's just because Kaylee.
See, that it just goes to show how much of a caring heart you have.
Yeah, exactly.
You care about the safety, obviously, of your wife.
She was judging me for not just running straight across.
Yeah.
But anyways, stoked that you're here, dude. Thanks for
having me.
For making time in your week. What does your week usually look like?
It varies, kind of week to week. I have a small business out here, and then another business that I'm building, and so it's just like 1 week can be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. work, and then like this week is a little bit more light, so like that's why I was able to just kind of come in and do this, but usually kind of in my evenings and afternoon times are actually when I'm a little bit more busy.
Yeah. I know. There was one time I think James texted me when I was here, and he was like, "Oh, you should come over for lunch." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He's got a little pocket in the middle of the day, and then he just cooks up steaks. I don't think I've ever had a steak for lunch.
Yeah, Jacob's being nice, guys. Like, I definitely cook those steaks pretty raw, but I promise I'm working on my grilling skills. So if anybody ever wants to come over,
it was on a cast iron. Wasn't it an electric stove? Do you have an electric stove?
I don't have an electric stove.
Oh, okay.
I think I did cook in a cast iron though.
Yeah. I have a cast iron. We have an electric stove, and it is the worst thing to get used to. Just because I'm used to grilling and barbecuing and stuff, but no, dude, it was phenomenal. It was great.
When you use a cast iron, do you heat the pan up, or like do you bake your steak in the cast iron in the oven and then you sear it after, or like how do you usually cook your steak?
I did do that once, like baste it with like butter and rosemary and stuff, and then you sear it, but you oven bake it. Yeah, dude. But dude, I'm gonna put you guys on. If you go to Trader Joe's, they have pre-marinated carne asada that is phenomenal. Like it is, you don't got to do anything to it. And I didn't even do anything special. I literally just seared it in the cast iron.
Oh, nice.
And it was like a nice medium. I even had Josh Shaw try it, and he's a foodie, so he's not just gonna
grill
say
master over there, huh?
something's good. And he was like, literally his words, "Why would you buy anything else?"
Wow.
So,
all right, thanks for
I don't
putting
know
me
if
on it.
I
I'll
don't know
try
if
it
it's
out.
cast iron or Trader Joe's, but that's where it's at.
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, I got some questions for you.
Sure.
They're kind of weird, but they're also kind of fun. So I saw this and I was like, yeah, I gotta ask you, dude. If you could teleport anywhere, but the catch is that you arrive completely soaking wet, would you use it regularly? You go anywhere you want, but you're just drenched.
It's a great question. Yeah.
You're like, why
Like
not?
just show up on like the Great Wall of China and drenched, why not?
Yeah, you'll dry off eventually.
Yeah. And people ask and be like, let's just ran 100 miles or something like that, Yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Would you?
I think I would.
What?
I mean, it makes me think of, have you ever played the game where it's like superpowers and it's like you try to come up with a great superpower and then somebody like comes up with one flaw to the superpower?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, where like it could have been something better. Like I've heard one similar to this where it's like you could teleport, like, or you'd have the ability to teleport, but you could only teleport 5 feet in front of you.
Oh.
And you can only do it once per day.
Ah.
And it's like, well, but yeah, if you can go anywhere and the only catch is that you're soaking wet, you just got to be mindful of where you do go.
Yeah. That wouldn't, so as soon as you get there, you're just like, water starts just pouring off you pretty much.
Yeah. No, you're like, especially if you try to go somewhere cold, dude, you're going to get sick.
All right. So how about every time you teleport, you pee your pants? So when you that would be worse, right? Yeah. So like if you got wet and your whole body's wet, people are like, oh, you got wet somehow. But like imagine if you just got wet, like, and there's just a puddle in your pants. Like,
well, you do that, but then how about every time you teleport, you just teleport to a pool wherever you go?
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I want to teleport to
that's true. Or ocean,
China or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to teleport into the ocean.
That's smart.
And then who cares if you pee your pants?
Yeah,
then,
that's true.
Because everyone pees in the pool in the ocean, right?
Loopholes around everything here.
Maybe they don't. I'm sorry if you don't. You're just weird if you don't. That's just, I feel like it's a normal thing to do. We won't go down that road anymore. Because oh, man. Oh, this is a fun one. What is the superior French fry shape?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I got a couple on here. There's like waffle, curly, shoestring, I can't talk, crinkle, your classic steak fry, pretty much just a potato, a whole potato.
Have you ever heard of Portillo's? Did I tell you? Have we talked about this before?
Maybe.
It's like the Chicago In-N-Out almost.
Maybe you have.
But you have these like little, hey, we gotta go sometime. I don't know, like
They're teleport there, bro.
Yeah.
Soaking wet. We
soaking
teleport
wet.
to Chicago.
But they're like, I don't know, like little, they're regular fries with just like little ridges on them. What kind of style is that? Like
crinkle, right?
Crinkle,
just
yeah, it's crinkle style, you know? Yeah. Crinkle, I think, is the best. But Portillo's has some good crinkle style fries.
Yeah. I'm a big waffle fry guy.
Yeah, waffle fries.
But they gotta be good.
Yeah. You think Chick-fil-A has some good waffle fries?
They're hit or miss, bro. And I think it's based on the amount of salt that they put on them. Because also a good fry's got to have a ton of salt, like an abnormal amount of salt.
Yeah.
But the thing is with waffle fries, if they're bad, they're bad. I'm not eating them.
Yeah.
And when you get like the ones that are like the butt of the potato,
the skin.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you get a bad crinkle fry, you get a bad any other fry, it's just like, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's not as good, but you'll still eat it.
Well, or cold fries. I don't know if again,
dude,
you waited to get home to eat the fries.
Fries
and
are
it's
fries,
just
man.
Yeah,
what about like sweaty fries? Like, when you get like a hot, you get like a hot thing of food, then you drive home and then you open the box and it's just like dripping.
I kind of like that, honestly. I sometimes like a soft fry. I don't know. It depends, like a soggy fry.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends the mood I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of similar to that, and I saw this one too. What do you think is the most overrated fast food place? But it doesn't even have to be strictly fast food. Like we can just say chains in general.
It's a great question.
We can do both sides, like overrated and then what we think is underrated. But what would you say is an overrated kind of place?
Overrated. What's that one spot? Five Guys?
You think Five Guys is overrated?
Yeah. See, when I do my reviews, I go for overall value, not just taste too. So Five Guys is pretty
a little pricey.
Yeah. They're pretty good food, but like I think it's like $25 for like a full burger and fries
and a drink. Yeah.
That's crazy. So the food is pretty good. I think it's a little overrated.
I mean, it's a valid take, but I love Five Guys too much, bro.
Yeah, I can tell that one hurt.
They
that
did,
one
bro. Especially with like we've talked about having a combination of, because like In-N-Out burgers are phenomenal, but they're honestly, bro, like their fries are just kind of
In-N-Out.
But if you could get an In-N-Out burger with Five Guys fries, that'd be
yeah, the fries are actually pretty good,
bro.
Yeah,
absolutely unstoppable.
You did know you can choose the kind of like bakeness of your fries,
right?
You
can get like well done.
Yeah, I found that out not too long ago. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool.
I like a crispy fry, bro.
Yeah,
but I don't know, something. And then because Five Guys, they give you like the cup of fries or whatever, and then they put the extra scoop.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that is pretty good. It's pretty good.
What else there was one I was thinking of the other day, and I was like, yeah, why does everyone hype this up so much? Well, so I might offend a couple of my friends here. I'm gonna say Taco Bell
is
overrated.
Overrated? Oh,
because here's the thing, it's great. I don't really have much bad to say about it, but it's like it's really not that good food. Like it's not the best prices. They keep jacking up their prices, but it's just like everyone's getting it. They keep popping up all over the place, especially in my hometown. It's solid. But like, why? Because like the food is so mid.
Yeah.
But it's also really good. I don't know. It's like a guilty pleasure, you know.
I haven't had Taco Bell in such a long time, but that was like my go-to move in high school. You know, especially like late night munchies. You know,
you just get hungry.
Yeah,
I'll go to Taco Bell.
Taco Bell was good. My friends from the East Coast, they love Jack in the Box.
Dude, I was literally gonna say from Jack in the Box. I don't know if you guys remember. They had it was like the 99-cent 2 tacos.
Yeah.
You get 2 tacos for like, I think it was like 89 cents or something like that. You didn't know what kind of meat was in it.
Yeah.
It's a mystery, but it would smack. It was so good. Me and my buddies, like one of us in high school, we were watching like sports games that were going on at the school, and one of us would go to Jack in the Box, get like 30 tacos, bro. It was like $15, and we just bring them back and we'd all eat. But that's funny you bring up Jack in the Box because those tacos, man.
Yeah.
All right, underrated. What do you think is like it deserves more recognition?
I don't know.
Just a solid spot.
I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Let's see. I just always resort to like thinking of like burger places.
Yeah.
But
would you like Chipotle? And or there, I don't know if this is considered fast food because like Kava, you know Kava?
Yeah.
I guess it's like a franchise. I love Kava, but like people usually don't talk about
Kava is like
Kava.
the more successful, better looking sibling compared to like Chipotle.
Pretty much.
It's like the one that's like, oh, don't worry about them.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you should be because they're better in every way.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, people don't talk too much about like, hey, let's go to
No, but every time people do talk about it, it's always good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I've only had it maybe once or twice, but it was great. I was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and their portions too. Like I'd get a kid's meal, and it was like
exactly. See, I'm a overall value type of guy, right? So the food's got to be good. The prices got to be good.
Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, like the food,
much.
the on a scale 1 through 10, Five Guys is probably like a 7, and then in terms of just overall value, like, you know, pricing, it's 3, so it brings it to like maybe a 5.
Yeah,
5 for me.
Well, that's expensive, dude.
Yeah,
but it's too many places. Too many places, man. They have any good places in Chicago?
I was just telling you, Portillo's.
I know, yeah.
I guess that's a move, and then there's a whole bunch of like deep dish pizza spots. There's no good pizza spots out here in Los Angeles.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say in Chicago. I was like, what?
Yeah, in Chicago, the pizza, all the pizzas are just made different. Like over here in LA, it's all like kind of New York style, and I like my pizza with some good sauce. It's got to be saucy. Yeah, it's got to have some nice cheese, a light layer of, maybe a little bit of oil on top. Yeah. And so there's a spot called Illuminati's. Not Illuminati's, but Illuminati's. Yeah. And that spot's pretty good. Okay,
is that in Chicago?
Yeah, it's like a deep dish spot. Yeah.
You're gonna have to take me to Chicago, bro.
Dude, let's go sometime, man. Like weekend trip,
Yeah. No, that'd be fun. What was it like growing up in Chicago?
Let's see. So again, I grew up about an hour west of Chicago, more like the suburbs. Grew up pretty traditionally.
What do you mean by that? Like,
I mean, I think what you could almost consider like an average suburban kind of lifestyle. Again, kind of just on the border of like cornfields, soybeans. Lived in a really pretty nice neighborhood. Growing up, grew up in a town called Mill Creek.
Come on,
yeah. Right. Yeah, man, I had a pretty good childhood overall for the most part. I grew up pretty close to like the woods, so like I grew up, biking around the neighborhood with all my friends, playing with all the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
Being outdoors all the time, that was pretty cool. But my parents, they got a divorce when I was around 5 or 6, kind of around that age.
Yeah.
And then after that, again, I moved to a different part of Illinois, and went to elementary school there, middle school and high school and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you kind of understand, if you don't mind me asking, like, did you kind of understand what was going on with your parents, or was it kind of more so like, oh, something seems off, but I don't really know?
Yeah. No, I definitely did. I think for me, yeah, no, I definitely did know what was going on. I think at least in my dynamic, my parents, they kind of not necessarily used my sister and I to kind of get at each other, but they definitely kind of use each other to be like, hey, be cautious of your dad, be cautious of your mom. Your mom does this kind of things. And so definitely kind of knew during that time what was going on. And like there's definitely certain experiences and different events that have happened that have definitely still kind of stuck in my mind from that. But after, that all went through, it was a pretty stable, it was in a pretty stable spot.
Yeah. So how was your experience through school? Like, was that really something that, did people know, or were you just kind of, wasn't really, you didn't feel like bringing it up to your friends, or like kind of, how did that dynamic?
Yeah, I feel like, because there's a lot of friends, again, their parents were married and everything like that, and I was pretty young when my parents again went through the divorce, so it's not like, I think, again, stuff that you talk about, when you're in first grade and
you're
like kindergarten,
go up to someone and be like, my mommy,
I guess definitely in those impression years, kindergarten and first grade, it was good, man. And then again, once I hit second grade, my parents were completely divorced, and that's kind of when I, started just living life, when kind of things settled and everything.
Yeah. Did you have something that kind of became like your thing? Like, did you have a hobby, or like kind of what you found doing? You found yourself spending like the most time doing?
Yeah. So I definitely was in a lot of different sports like growing up. Like, I think one thing my mom did a really good job with was, she tried to like just put me in everything, probably like almost too much stuff,
Yeah.
you know? And I think it's probably because she felt guilty, you know, in a way of just the divorce and everything like that. So she tried to get me just around a whole bunch of different sports, other men, you know, and, you know, I was a gymnast growing up. So like my uncle,
Dang,
you know, he was a gymnast. He was one of my role models. So I always wanted to be a gymnast. And, you know, I also did wrestling in high school, for a while. But I also was always like, I was a hustler, you know, when I was a kid. So like on the weekends and stuff like that, I was like trying to sell stuff, like sell golf balls or I don't know, whatever it was.
Bro, just getting some cash.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I took an interest in money from like a young age. I don't know why, but you know, yeah.
Did you ever, like, was there ever a time where kind of church was ever talked about or Jesus was ever talked about? Like, was that ever a thing kind of growing up, or is that something that kind of came about like later in your life?
Yeah. So it was, I actually grew up in the church.
Okay.
Especially I think after my parents separated, I think my mom wanted me to, again, kind of just get around a good environment, association. I know she was going through a lot. So we ended up mostly going to a Baptist church.
Okay.
Almost all my years in elementary school. And I know, at least on my mom's end, like I knew she maybe believed in God, but she never really acted it out. You know, it was maybe kind of like going through the motions. I think you can kind of feel that, you know?
Yeah.
And then also my dad, I mean, he was a Lutheran. So I'd go to church with him sometimes and stuff like that. So I grew up like knowing about Jesus and God and hearing all the stories and watching all the movies, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't ever really fully believe it because I never really respected actually anyone who was a Christian and then see that actually acted out fully in their life, you know? And so that's why I don't think I really stuck to it, you know, especially after elementary school and, you know, once I came out to LA, because I just never saw someone who was a Christian and that I also really respected. And yeah.
Yeah. I know. I kind of similarly, I grew up in the church and like kind of pretty much my whole life. I felt like I was in the church, grew up in the church, in a Baptist church actually. Yeah. And for like the longest time, like it always just kind of felt like I was tagging off of at the time, like my mom's faith. And then it's like, and seeing it in both my parents. And it's like, I just kind of felt like I was pulling off of that and not really doing anything for myself. Didn't really understand it. And I ended up leaving and I stopped going with my family and I ended up going with my best friend to his church. But like nothing really became real for me until honestly college. Like I had this whole life of like kind of being in the church and invested in church and having Christian friends and like all this stuff going on. But yeah, I didn't have the same experience of like not respecting people, but it's like I can see that, especially because like we are called to show that in not even just the things that we say, but the things that we do.
Yeah.
And so having that experience and having the shift, and I think it was because just being surrounded by, I went to a private university of people that were doing the stuff and they were acting in like regard to the scripture and like all of these things. And it's like, they're not just saying stuff. And I think that's kind of what changed the game for me. And my question for you is like, is there kind of something, did that kind of happen for you? Is it still happening? Like, where are you at in that and what has kind of influenced your view? If there has been a change from, I don't really know how I feel about people in the church or whatever, versus now kind of being surrounded by a different group of people and invested in the church.
That's a great question. Yeah, it definitely has changed. You know, I feel like for the longest time, I was actually trying to stay away, you know, from those kinds of people, trying to stay away from the church people and was just always trying to find reasons actually almost to, not believe in God and not believe in just kind of the church, you know, but it wasn't until, again, really kind of a couple years ago where I definitely felt like yeah, there's just some missing parts, you know. And there was actually a particular man. His name's Revels Johnson, good friend and mentor of mine. He was actually the first guy that I actually respected who actually was a Christian and you know, was mentoring me in just kind of different areas of my life. And so I was like, oh, if this guy, I really respect this guy. He believes in God. He's a Christian. He believes in Jesus. And, you know, maybe this is something I should like kind of really check out and vet. And yeah, it took me about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Where I just felt like there's just, again, just something just missing in my life. You know, and I just feel like I don't know. For some people, I just feel like just some magical, but like just something just happens in their life and just kind of brings them close to God, which there's definitely is a part of my story that definitely brought me closer to God. But it's just like a gradual, you know, just kind of seeking and showing up to church once in a while that I was like, oh yeah, I'm about this.
Yeah. So then how did that happen? I know there's like some really exciting stuff too that I want to get to, but from that to walking in the door at Vineyard, like kind of what led you to that? And like, how did you even find yourself here at Vineyard?
That's a great question.
I think I can't remember we've talked about it, but it's been a minute. But
yeah.
I just remember one day I was like, oh yeah, James is here, but when did he get here?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. Like I said, you know, I was looking for a church. I was just started dating Darlene at the time and going through relationship stuff and struggles, like fighting all the time. And I'm like,
yeah, man.
Again, this is just another reason I'm like, I just felt like something's missing. Like there's got to be something missing. And I was like, we need to find a church. Like we need Jesus, you know, and
Jesus.
without even knowing what that really meant. And I was actually in the grocery store one day when I actually bumped into Josh Call.
Yeah.
I'm like the weird person who will like go up to people and just start talking with them, and you either love me or hate me. But yeah, I saw Josh in the grocery store, and we just kind of, you know, small little talk, and asked him what he did, and he said he was the youth pastor right over here at the Vineyard. I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I was like, I've been kind of looking for a church and haven't really like actually went to anything, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it's you know, Vineyard. It used to be it's a coffee connection. I was like, oh, I take meetings there sometimes. I go there. It's a great place. And he's just invited me that way, and went to a couple young adult groups back in the day. It was like almost, I think, two years ago. Like we went to like our first one.
Yeah.
And would go to one like every like month, you know, or two. And then it wasn't until about a year ago started consistently kind of coming to the Vineyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And there's a ton in like the middle of that. And then what I wanted to get to where it wasn't, I mean, maybe kind of recently, but you got baptized here at the Vineyard.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I know we don't have a lot of time to kind of get into all of it, but like, if you guys have the time and you see James, like you should ask him just about just how this work kind of happened in your life, and just like, I think just a total shift in just your demeanor and just like your present, just everything about you just like completely shifted. And it was just so cool to see that happen. And like kind of getting into like getting back over to getting baptized, like how was that for you? And like obviously being through we skipped around a little bit, but just like getting to that, like how was that for you in making that decision to do that? And then kind of after that, like how was that?
Well, first off, the baptism was amazing. That was like a decision I made to basically say that I maybe not know, I don't know everything, you know, as a new Christian, but deciding that I'm gonna just let go. I'm gonna let go and just be open to letting God just lead me and really just being able to put my faith in Jesus and everything. but like what led me to that, or like what?
Yeah, I guess like share, and you don't have to share too much, but it's just like kind of what prompted you to be like, no, I want to get baptized.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I know we don't have too much time here either.
No, you're good, man.
But yeah, I guess I'll share this. Definitely over like the 3 years, Darlene and I have been together, which is a long time. Again, it wasn't until about a year ago where I started actually just learning about God, and and through actually coming to the church, there's a lot of things I realized that not necessarily wrong with me, but yeah, there's a lot of faults that I had when it just came to my integrity, my sexual integrity, stuff regarding lust, just stuff that I think when just growing up, just as a kid, when you're just in certain environments and association is just very normalized, for you. And so honestly, through that, actually brought me closer to God, because I never believed before that you could honestly really overcome a lot of these challenges, whether it was regarding just lustful thoughts, just sexual integrity stuff, porn. Like I never used to believe that could be overcome until actually starting to learn about just the Bible and the gospel, and just that when you really start to put your faith and let God lead you, that you can overcome that stuff. And when I actually started to believe that and act it out, things really started to change for me. And that's actually what brought me closer to God.
Yeah. That's huge, dude. And that takes a ton of courage to share that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you. And it's just really been incredible just to see your story and just to see how God has worked just through your life, your community, and just everything. And now being at Vineyard and being a part of what's going on and serving, right?
Yeah.
Where do you serve, man?
Hey, I got the coolest job. I get to hang out with the kiddos.
Come on now.
Yeah, so I serve with the youth, and that's it's a blast, and that was actually definitely I remember when I first came here and started plugging in, like Josh was like, hey, one of the best ways to learn is to like get plugged in and start serving, even if you don't understand everything. And that actually opened up my heart a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you have some encouragement for people who are not serving, who've thought about serving, or for people that are just like, oh, I want to get more connected? What would you say to
go do it? Like we need the help. And again, I think that go-giver mentality, right? Even if you have that super busy schedule, taking that time to just serve and just get around the environment, the culture, because I think we're meant to be discipled. We're meant to be discipled. We're meant to be in community, and that was what I feel like. Again, just continue to kind of open my heart. So go out there and serve.
Come on now, I didn't even have to say it.
Yeah,
you're just plugging it for me.
No,
but that's so cool, dude. And it's like I said, like I know we don't have a lot of time to dive into everything, but just knowing a lot about just stuff that the Lord has brought you out of and things that you've overcome, like through him, like just, it's been really incredible. And I'm so glad that you got to share, like, I know just even a little bit, but if you guys happen to see James and just being able to just have a conversation with him, he's an incredible dude. He's got an incredible story, and it's just an incredible heart just for the kids and for our church and all of that. But thanks so much for being here, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
I really appreciate you for making the time in your fluctuating weeks. Never know what they're going to look like.
It varies.
Yeah. You still show up because you live 2 seconds away.
Literally.
Pretty much. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to be checking on socials just for updates about new episodes. And honestly, we're going to be launching some new stuff here at the church soon. Regarding, I'm not even going to share. I'm just going to let it be a surprise.
Ooh.
But just be checking it out, keeping up to date, and keeping in the know. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
And can I say one more thing?
Yeah, bro.
I truly believe, guys, everybody has their own vice, their own addiction. Some are easier seen, I think, from the outside. But truly, you can break them. You can break them. But what I was trying to do for the longest time is do it alone. And but if you put your faith in Jesus and you're willing to let go, he can do miracles. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah. Thanks for that, James.
100%.
Well, receive that, hear that, and let it be spoken over your guys' life.
100%. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you guys soon.